ceremony for the evening. I'm also a part of such a great team, the Youth and Young Adult Outreach Division, and our goal is to provide resources for our youth and families through educational enhancement, workforce development, restorative justice, situational housing, violence and corruption, conflict resolution, and substance abuse assistance. We are all here in this one room because we all share one thing, and that one thing is simple: we care. We care about our various communities and families as a whole. The visionary behind this great event, none other than Stacey Moraney. Stacey wanted to bring a unique panel of individuals who he knew personally would have a clear, impactful, penetrating message. A message of knowledge, experience, and reputation. Panelists that would grab the immediate attention to the challenges of our youth and community, pinpointing the exact nature of our problems and remedies to address solutions. Thus the title of this forum, Street Talk, the vision, please listen. There are no cards at each tables and pens because we will have a Q&A at the end of the program. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker, T.R.I.P.S, Executive Director for Violence Interrupted, has dedicated his life and career to community organizing for peace and social change. In 1999, Mr. Hardeman joined Ceasefire, an award-winning public health model that has significantly proven to reduce shootings and killings in 2004. T.O. created the Violence Interrupters Initiative. The Violence Interrupters are a specialty unit of violence intervention experts that work to mediate conflict on the front end. As testament to the success of this program overall, homicides declined in Chicago by 25% in 2013 to a total of 426. This was the fewest number of homicides in the city since 1965. T.O. Hardeman also worked for the Humane Society of the United States to help bring more awareness to the plight of inner-city pit bull dog fighting, which led to the end of dog fighting programs. Growing up in Chicago's notorious Henry Horner housing project, Mr. Hardeman witnessed firsthand the devastating effect that violence epidemic has on the community. From the early exposure, he committed himself to ending violence in Chicago. Before joining Ceasefire, Mr. Hardeman organized more than 100 block clubs to strategize community plans for public safety on behalf of the Chicago Alliance for Neighborhood Safety, and held leadership positions for Bethel New Life and Chicago T.R.I.P.S program. Without further ado, T.O. Hardeman.
It's an honor to be here, and I want to thank God for allowing me to be in your space today. I'm so happy to see a lot of young brothers and sisters here. Let's get these young brothers and sisters. Yay! Comrades, I call her a comrade, a friend, or whatever the case. Stand up, Sister After. She joined us here today, Sister After. I want to thank God that's it for this opportunity. I'm the president of the Violence Interrupters, not-for-profit organization, and I want to thank Brother Stacey for making this happen. Let's give Stacey all the when it comes down to violence prevention, I'm not here to preach to none of the young people. I don't want to preach to nobody. I just want to just lay some information out for you. It's up to the young people to take the information. Is that fair? Yeah. Is that fair for everybody? Yeah. So the reason I created the Violence Interrupters back in 2004 is because I got tired of seeing so many young people lose their lives out here in Chicago, and I did a lot more in Evanston as well many years ago. The reality is that it's all about trying to save a life. You know, you got brothers down in the penitentiaries wishing they could come home. Do not think that people that are locked up are having fun while they're locked up. That's misinformation. People are struggling each and every day. I know some young people sitting here today right saying, that'll never happen to me. But it could happen to you if you make one wrong decision. It's easy to make a wrong decision and get in some mess, but it's hard to get out of the mess. You hear me? It's easy to get into some mess, but it's hard. I'm about to use a profanity, I'm going to stop that. But it's hard to get out of some mess. So my thing is, God allowed me to work with brothers and sisters for at least 25-some years, going strong. A little bit more than that, but I don't want to age myself, right? But the reality is, we hired over 300 upon a time, and I still got brothers and sisters working for me. And I'll just tell you a quick story. This is a mediation, a true story off the west side of Chicago. Hear me good on this, young brothers. There was a young guy that was released from the Cook County jail about 2 months ago. And when he was released from prison, from the Cook County jail, some guys that took over his drug spot on the west side of Chicago. When he came home, as soon as he got out the Cook County jail, he shot the block up and ran everybody in the house. A lady called me, this is the work of violence to the brothers. A lady called me and said, look, you need to get over here quick because my son is screaming in the bedroom, loading up a gun to go out and shoot the guy that shot the block up. So don't try this at home. This work is not for the faint of heart. And I'm not the toughest guy in America. I just want to make that clear. But I'm a stand-up brother, right? So when I got on the block, I had 2 or 3 of my guys with me, all right? And I went out to talk to the guy in the car. And I kid you not, his hand was sweating. He had just fired the gun off. It was a 9mm stock, right? His teeth was red. He was really bent on killing somebody. My guys went in the house and talked to the other 2 guys, and the guys had informed my guys that they were sending him money to the jail through his brother. He didn't know that, right? And so then when I got that information, I had to relay it to the brother in the car. And then we found out his girlfriend, hear me clearly on this, you're going to love this for the young people. His girlfriend was coming on the block, getting money for him with another guy. With another guy, you hear me? True story. So when I went out and got that information, as I'm talking to the brother, I say, man, you mad at the wrong guys. What I need you to do right now, call your brother and see what happened to your money. So he called his brother. He said, man, look here, what happened to my money? His brother said, I was waiting on you to come home. You know how that goes. His brother didn't have his money. You know what I mean? He didn't have his money. He called his girl. I kid you not. He said, baby, what is this I'm hearing about you coming on the block getting money on my name with another guy? The other guy got on the phone and said, my man, I'm with your woman right now. Yeah, I told you you're going to like this one, right? To a degree. And I guarantee you, I promise you can't make these stories up. I didn't know if I should have hugged that brother. He looked like he was about to shoot me. I'm telling you, his whole face turned like stone. And I didn't know what to tell him. He was caught in the moment. But what I did tell him, I said, well, man, you know, you got some other issues you need to focus on, right? I told him just like that. I said, you got some other issues you need to focus on. And I saw him put his gun down slowly in the car, and the man started crying, man. He started crying. I'm telling you, his brother didn't have money, his woman had just betrayed him in his mind. And I say, brother, you mad at the wrong people, I think you need to go on home and call it a day today. Do that for me. That's what I told him. He did, man. He did that. And I followed him maybe 2 or 3 days later. He's in a better space now, and I'm still in connection with him because I didn't want to just leave him like that mentally. Everybody get my point on that? Yeah. That's a serious story. Now, the end of the story is like this, though. The real reality is like this, in other words. Somebody could have got shot and killed that day. He didn't care who he was going to shoot. The reason I know he would kill somebody because he had been locked up for murder before. You see, so the point I'm trying to make, this is the work we do, this work is not for everybody. I was having young people here today, I was going to say this to you. Do not believe the street hype. Yeah. Do not believe the street hype. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Because if you believe the street hype, you got some other facilities today. If you believe the street hype, what's going to happen, you're going to find yourself in one of them 6x9 cells by yourself. And your little buddies and friends, they're not going to be there with you. You're going to be locked up for 23 hours a day. By a show of hands, who can do that? Who can do it? Who wants to do it? Okay? So, let me just say this. Let me slow it down just a little bit. Hear this message from me so you don't have to get caught up in that mess. Does that make sense to y'all? Seriously. If you really want to do something crazy, give me young brothers and sisters. Definitely young brothers. If you really want to do something crazy, lock yourself up in your own bathroom at home. Tell your people to lock the door so you cannot get out for 23 hours, no radio, no TV, no nothing, okay? So if you really think about doing something crazy, take out a moment and lock yourself at home in the bathroom. Seriously. Because it gives you a chance to think, right? There's so many young brothers and sisters out there that are struggling because they're given the peer pressure. They want to do what their buddies are doing. I'm here to tell you, be a thinker for yourself. Do not allow nobody to send you off. I don't care if you're black, white, Latino, whatever your nationality might be, do not allow nobody to send you off. Seriously. Because we got to be more thinkers nowadays than followers. Does that make sense to you? We have to be thinkers more so than followers. God bless me. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let it ride for a minute. I grew up in here on the projects. I witnessed, I'm just telling one of the lightweight gangster stories, not from me, but from my stepfather. I can talk about my stepfather. I'm not making this story up either. Minister, you know my stepfather. T.R.I.P.S was his name. I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old, man. We sitting at the table. My stepfather used to shoot dope. He sit at the table, the lights were dim. He asked the guy that was sitting at the table, say, look, man, did you call the funeral home today? The guy said, what the hell am I call the funeral home for? He said, you should have told me on your way and shot. That's some gangster stuff to me, man. This is a true story. He said, you should have called the funeral home and told me you was on your way, and he shot that man this year. My stepfather, he's deceased now, but at 10 years old, I never got no therapy for that. You hear me? I never got no way to process that in my mind, so I looked at it like it was an everyday thing in the ghetto. That's the way I looked at it, seriously. So I'm saying this too because I don't want to talk over your head here, but a lot of times people don't understand we deal with a lot of trauma. We deal with a lot of stress in our lives, and we don't know how to really process it. So we end up getting stuck on stupid for a while because a lot of us feel nobody understands what we're going through. And that wasn't the only violent scene I've seen in my lifetime, right? So I'm just saying to you all here today, do the best you can without me preaching to you, to take the higher road. If somebody gets into an argument with you, step it off. Because a lot of us already made the mistakes for you. Young man, come here for a minute. I'm going to do just for a minute. Just for a minute. I ain't going to put you on front street. Come on, get my hand. People get hurt for this kind of stuff all the time. It's crazy, but it's real. So let's say you walk in the hallway of school, right? And I'm walking past you. And I'm your age. Why do you keep looking at me crazy, man? Every time I walk past you, look at me like you're crazy. Don't even say nothing. When you see me, hold your head. How do you respond to that? You don't know how to respond to it, but you wouldn't get mad as brother? Would you fight? Be honest with me. You leave it alone? What would make you step away? He's a real chill person. Give it to him. Because he said that he did it the right way. Those who might put their hands on you, step it off. Does that make sense? Step it off. A lot of young guys, I had one day a guy challenged me on that role play. I was in school on the west side, and I did to a young guy. He said, don't play with me like that. He's about to step on me. I got a lot more, right? But the thing is this here, man, I appreciate young brother because we got situations with young guys all across the city, all across the town, who struggle with just a little lightweight conflict, right? So Evanston is a nice place to live, and I wish you all the best up here. But the work that we're doing so far this year, my Evanston brothers have mediated about 30 conflicts this year. It's not a big number, but it's a solid number. Last year, God allowed me to rescue 5 young women from a domestic violence situation. And that's why we're trying to pay it forward to women. We rescue them from domestic violence situations and get them in a safer place. So I'm just grateful. I can go on and on. I'm just grateful to be here, man, because it could have been a whole other story. Trust and believe. Anybody that know what I'm talking about, I'm more spiritual than religious. They say spirituality is for people that have gone to hell and don't want to go back. And they say religion is for people that just don't want to go to hell. But I'm on a spiritual level, and God anointed me to do this work. Period. That's just my life's work. And I have to mention my man Oswald now. You don't know this, but I come up under this guy to a degree. Let's give it up for Oswald. Brother Napoleon, he just belongs to a good friends of mine, okay? And thank you all for listening to me. I'm not going to preach much longer. Peace.
Benny Lee, as he is known by many, a former gang leader, violence interrupter, recovered addict, former death row inmate, has become a father, husband, and one of the top trainers and administrators in the field of public service. As a community liaison and reentry specialist for the task, Ms. Lee prepares individuals for makers successful transition from incarceration into the community. He also works with communities to help them build their capacity to effectively receive individuals returning home following incarceration. Mr. Lee has received numerous awards for his outstanding work, including Project Safe Neighborhood Award from the U.S. Department of Justice and a National America Honors Recovery Award from the Johnson Institute for his work in providing innovative services to gang-affiliated individuals in the criminal justice system. He is also currently a professor of justice studies at Northeastern Illinois University. And we welcome him.
Good evening, Evanston. Let me first start off by saying I know it's through the grace of a merciful God and a praying mother and a father I know in my heart who didn't give up on me that I'm able to be here with today. You know, I want to thank my brother Stacy, right, for calling me out. And anytime I'm asked to come, especially to talk to young people, I'm going on. You know, my journey of renegotiating my lifestyle began in the Stateville Maximum Security Penitentiary in 1982. I was laying on the top bunk at E-House, and something just told me to say a prayer. And at that time, I was the guy that didn't pray. But something moved me to just to say a prayer. And I got off the bunk and I go in the mode to pray. I didn't know what I was going to pray. But what came out was, God, let me out of here before my mother died. Because I seen too many guys get that notice that their mother just died and they couldn't go nowhere. So I prayed, God, let me out of here before my mother died. Because at that time, I couldn't think of nothing I'd done to make my mother proud of me other than graduate out of the 8th grade. Because see, at that point, I had to learn what love really was. How can I say I love my mother, young people, and ask yourself this question? How many of y'all still got your mothers? How many of y'all got a praying grandmother? How can I say I really love my mother when the life I was living was causing her a lot of heartache and pain? You know, when she had to come to the hospital because I got shot point blank in the jaw with a 38. She had to read the newspaper up in the shootout with the police, got hostages. Then I go to prison, a riot happened in the prison, 3 white guards got killed, and I ended up being indicted, me and 16 other gang leaders, and we all charged with 15 counts of murder, 2 attempted murder, and mob action, and the state was seeking the death penalty. And as tough as I was at that time, young brother, when that judge told me, he said, listen, Lee, you need to get a lawyer, because the state is seeking the death penalty. You know what the first thing crossed my mind? I got to call my mama. That's the first thing crossed my mind. But through the grace of God, I was able to come from under that. See, I want to do a little exercise right quick. Any of you all that's in high school, stand up. Those who is in high school right now, stand up. Stand up, y'all. Now listen to what I need you to do. Find somebody to partner up with them and face to face. Find a partner and just face to face. Get a partner. Everybody get a partner. Now one of you all, I want you to take your right hand and make a fist. Just one of them. I need you to take your fist and put it as close to your partner's face without touching them. Close as you can. Just put that fist in their face. Now I'm going to give you 15 seconds to convince your partner to take their fist out your face. Start right now. Say to get them to remove the fist. Who want to go first? Who was successful to have your body remove the fist? Who you? What did you say to get them to remove that fist? You were not successful. Who was successful? You were.
I just said, can you please reach your hand?
Who else was successful? All right, now let me ask this question. What was it like having that fist in your face? Who had the fist in their face? What was it like having that fist in your face? Frustrated. Anybody else? What was it like having that fist in your face? Over here, what was it like having that fist in your face? What? Angry. All right, how about over here? What was it like having that fist? Now, let me ask this question. What was it like putting your fist in a person's face? Who put their fist in somebody's face? What was it like putting your fist in his face? Who else? What was it like putting your fist in that person's face?
It made me feel like I had authority over my enemy.
See, one thing about life, we're going to always have a fist put in our face. How many of y'all ever been driving and somebody just cut you off in traffic? That's a fist in your face. How many of y'all ever been talking to somebody and somebody just walk off disregard because I'm talking to the person you're talking to? That's a fist in your face. How many of y'all ever felt disrespected by somebody? That's a fist in your face. And so what we got to learn is how do we handle a fist in our face? And what can we do to avoid to put our fist in somebody else's face? And so this is how we get out of it. Something is stirred up inside of us. I ain't gonna be too long, but you young people, I would believe that you in high school, your goal is to graduate, am I right or wrong? And once you graduate, some of y'all gonna go off to college, some of y'all might take on a trade, or some of y'all might just get a job, right? But let me say this here. If those are your goals, if that's your vision, that's how you vision your life after high school, there's three things you must do. The first thing I would offer you is that you got to stay alive. You can't get killed. Now ask yourself this. Can you get killed by hanging with certain people you know?
Yes.
Can you get killed hanging in certain places on certain blocks?
Yes.
See? And the second thing, if you want to reach your goal, you got to avoid getting arrested. Because you're not going to reach your goal locked up. And ask yourself, can you get locked up hanging with certain people?
Yes.
Can you get killed hanging with certain people? Can you get arrested hanging in certain places? And the third thing is you got to have a clean mind. You got to avoid drugs. The drugs damages your brain. See? But one thing we got to recognize that whether you like it or not, you live in a community. You got to stop looking at self and get connected to community. And see, my plight in life going in and out of prison because I detached from the original group called family. Family. I was raised with a certain family culture value system. Respect my elders. Go to school. Get a good education. But when I stepped outside the home, I got connected with another group. And I learned some street culture value system. And I would come home, my dad would say, boy, you can't come here talking like that. You can't come here dressed like that. So I made a shift from my family culture value system to a street culture value system. Y'all follow me? And then I went on to became gang affiliated. And I adopted a gang culture value system. My family told me to respect my elders, and the gang said respect the chief. That was a shift. Then I ended up in prison. And I inherited a prison culture value system. And in prison, in the state of Evanston security penitentiary, you might get stuck in today because you know going through those tunnels, you got to make sure that camera ain't turned this way because somebody will get a blind side. When you step past that gate, somebody might stick you. So you play this side of the wall so that won't happen. And when you hit that yard, you need to know who do what on the yard. Guys to lift weights every day. Guys to play basketball every day. Guys to play chess every day. Guys to jog every day. When you step on the yard, the guy that used to go by the way, lift weights, he standing by the basketball court. You tell your guys, hold the other. Get on point. Something ain't right. He out of place. You go in the cow hall. Disciples sitting over there. Vice Lord sitting over there. Stones over there. Christian brothers over there. Hebrew, Israelite brothers over there. All of a sudden you see a gangster disciple over there talking to some man king. Cold yellow. Get on point. Something ain't right. He out of place. Prison make you paranoid. So coming out here out of prison, I could be in a Walgreens, see 2-3 brothers standing by the door. I get to wonder what are they up to. Talking about trauma. And you don't want to live that life. So I say this to you young people. Don't take this moment lightly. Stay alive. Stay alive. If you don't like the life you live now, only you got to stop it. Because God ain't even got that power. Because God gave you free will. Right, so it got to come from you. But you got to have a vision. You got to visualize what you want your life to look like 1 year from now, 5 years from now. You got to have this vision. Visualize what you want your life to look like. And see, once you establish a vision for yourself, that vision forces you to set goals for yourself. And see, goals determine who you should be associated with and who you shouldn't be associated with. If your goal is to graduate out of high school, then there's certain people you shouldn't hang with, and there's certain people you should be hanging with. Goals also determine what you should be doing every day. Goals also determine what you shouldn't be doing on a daily basis. But you gotta have those goals. See? But I'm gonna pray for all of you all. Hope you make it through your venture, high school, after high school, but get connected to family, community. Right? It's an African proverb that says the ruin of a nation begins in the home of its people. So how you orientate in your home will have a lot to do with how you function outside your home. But see, God gave you a mind. God ain't programmed no man or woman to fail. See? I was part of the Vice Lord Nation since 1966. And I was in a leadership role. I was one of the youngest chiefs of the Vice Lords in 1967. And one thing I learned about being an elite with the Vice Lord Nation, that we are only strong as the weakest brother among us. Because his frailties can cause us all our lives. So what that means, when a brother come on the same time I hit a broken somebody's house, we check him. You don't know if that's one of our mothers or our house. And if it begins to cause conflict among us, shut that down. We live by a certain code of honor. See? And one day we believed in the hand cleaning gloves, shelter over our head, to be able to stop allowing our physical traits like our anger, our lust, and our greed, and our jealousy to control how we act and learn how to think as man and put mind on the matter. Because God ain't programmed no man to do wrong. No one's built up to disrespect somebody and walk away and feel good about it. family. There's certain things in the family you can do and you can't do. It's called norms. And then you got to take that into the community level. Certain things you should be doing in the community, but there's certain things you should be doing. So I want to say thank you for having me out here. My name is Benjamin, and I love all of y'all.
Please join me up front. Let's give them a hand as they come. On behalf of the YYA team, we would like to present this leadership award to our amazing leaders. This award reads, "For your extraordinary management, dedication, and service in the Evanston community 2023. We present this award to our Director of Parks and Recreation, Ms. Audrey Thompson, and the manager of our Youth and Young Adult Outreach Division, Jeremy McCray. Ms. Audrey Thompson and Justin McCray, can you please come accept Jeremy's award with his bag? We love you guys. Thank you. I am going to introduce our third speaker. Dr. Amina Matthews has dedicated her life to advocating and fighting for social change in our communities. Born on Chicago's South Side, Dr. Matthews witnessed the devastating impact violence had on the place she called home. Her father, Jeff Ford, first went to prison in 1969 when she was a baby. When Dr. Matthews became involved in the community work in Chicago, she realized many other women shared her story. She also came to understand just how damaging incarceration was to families. In 2006, Dr. Amina started working with T.R.I.P.S as the first woman to be a violence interrupter. Dr. Amina's work was highlighted in the 2011 documentary, The Interrupter. It premiered at Sundance Film Festival and won several awards, including an Emmy. After being diagnosed with multiple myeloma, Dr. Matthews learned that her father discovered he as a stem cell match. Her father made a donation from a supermax prison in Colorado that saved Dr. Amina's life. This influenced Dr. Amina to form Calls for Peace. Calls for Peace focuses on proactive approaches to violence, including programming for kids. This work includes summer camp for kids, providing back-to-school supplies, and helping with diapers and clothing drives. Dr. Amina also did security and restorative justice work with IGRO, which focuses on building safe communities in Inglewood. Dr. Amina Matthews.
Hey, Assalamu alaikum, you guys. Peace and blessings to you all. I My name is Sister Dr. Rita Matthews. And before I get started, and what I need to say to you guys, I want to talk to my kings, my princes, and my princesses. I want to talk to you guys for a second. Hey, you guys, check this out. I'm in your house. I've showed a great deal of respect. As I'm continuing to be in your house, I would like for respect to be shown to this program as well as to your guests. Good evening, President. Good evening. I have a question that I want to ask you guys, and then I'll talk to the people in a second. I want to know who is in this room, in this space, that is 12 to 21. Stand up. Male and female, 12 to 21. Stand up, please. Come on, princess, you can do it. Because I can tell you when you're on the deck and you get jumped in and they ask you to do something, you're going to have to be real quick to do it. Just asking you to do one quick thing. Out of this group, how many of you all know what do you want to be when you grow up? By the short hands, how many? How many? What do you want to be? A basketball player? NBA player? What do you want to be, King?
I want to be an engineer.
How old are you? 17. Let me get one of my young people back here since you are not focused. Excuse me, can I have your attention for a second? Hey, bro, hey. My question is, what do you want to be? Or do you know what you want to be when you grow up? No. He said no. No. Cool. You guys can sit down. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up either. And that's not to put you on Front Street. Hold on. That's not to put you on Front Street at all. I grew up in a time where our elders would ask, hey, what you want to be when you grow up? My answer was what the community answer was. I either wanted to be a secretary, a nurse, or a librarian. Back then, that's what all the resources that the community had for young black women like myself. So I didn't know. As I got older, all I wanted to be, all I could even fathom to be, is a good person. That's all I could think of. I wasn't sure. I didn't have any resources. I didn't have any options. I was raised by my young grandmother. My mother was 16, getting pregnant, having me. 16. So I didn't have a choice. I just said whatever my community said. Now time is a little different from when I was you all's age and you all was soon to be my age, sooner than you think, because I thought that I was going to be cute, pretty princess all my life. But then after babies, husband, and life whooped my ass. Let's just be real about it. Life whooped my ass. Because I didn't know. I didn't know. So I have a question that I want to ask you guys. Since we are in the time of not loyalty, not honor, and not trust, how you guys going to survive another weekend of the violence in Chicago, in Rogers Park, and in the outlying areas of Evanston? How you guys going to survive? Do you all have a clue on how you're going to survive? Do you all know your choices on how to survive? Mr. Bennett Lee gave us options of what our choices were. First of all, stay alive. How can I do that? How can I do that, Anita? How can I do that? How can I stay alive? Pay attention and stay focused. Life is serious out here. It is full of, as you all know, hatred and envy. Well, I'm right. Even our mans, right? Even our girls, right? Hatred and envy. So in the midst of that hatred and envy, what are the tools do we have to stay focused? Because life is not a joke. Life is definitely not a joke. It's fun. I've had some really good times, but it's not a joke. Life is serious. Life is what you make it. Now we're faced in a time of hatred, envy, jealousy, homelessness, food insecurities, lack of resources, and lack of education for my young black men and women, and my women and our men of Latino descent. So I was asked to come and spend some time with you guys, but I was hoping that you guys can really show me what you all do, and that can be another visit, right? On how you guys get out in camp, the things that you all do. You can teach me a little something, right, King? And I'm willing to learn. One thing that I need for you all to do is to respect this program, man. This is a stepping stone for you guys. This is where you're going to learn some things, whether you think it's a joke or not. This is a place where you're going to learn a lot of things about yourself and your endurance. Like Mr. Lee asked you all to put your hand in each other's face, right? I really have to say, really, for real, you guys, when I saw you all do that, my anxiety raised. Because I don't know about you, I don't want anybody in my space. I want people to respect my boundaries. So therefore, I must have that same respect of our boundaries being respected in our community. As you all heard on my bio, the different things that I have done within my community, I didn't know that this was going to be an option for me to be a peace builder. After listening to what the streets have said to me and my family about me and my family and where we are going to be, either dead, in institutions, may it be the penitentiary, or may it be mental health. So I had to make a quick choice. And my quick choice, being raised by my grandmother, not understanding why I was being raised by my grandmother, being resentful and angry about life and what my hand was dealt to me. 16, I met some people in my life that really changed the trajectory of my community in here. At the age of 19, I gave birth to my community that changed my whole fiber of my being. I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. Can you guys, and I'm talking to my youth here, can you guys keep a secret? Can you guys keep a secret from Sister Mina? Huh? Can you guys keep a secret? Now, all the accomplishments that you heard the sister read about what Sister Mina has been through. The plan for Sister Mina was to be dead, was to be drugged out, was to live my whole life in a penitentiary and serve a life sentence like my father, Mr. Jeff Ford, is doing right now. But because I knew, I really didn't know, but I felt like it was a power greater than myself to help me get through those hard times of my life. And it was. And it was in a program just like this, you guys. Don't take it for granted. It's okay, you all kiki and kaka and, you think it's funny now. But when you walk outside that door and you're faced with hatred, envy, and you have to make a choice between a basketball and a gun, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna pick the basketball and shoot your way out? Or are you gonna pick up that AK-47 and shoot your way out? Because your man said it. Because your man said it. Because your girl said it. What you gonna do? You gonna stay right here and shoot the ball? Or you gonna go out there and shoot that sword, that pole? Which one? I'm listening. Don't let me be the only one that's talking, because it seems like you always doing a whole bunch of talking right over here. So which one you gonna do? Let me hear it. What you gonna do? You gonna shoot the ball or you gonna shoot the pole? What choice? You promise? You made that promise, right? You're gonna be tested by that promise. You understand what I'm saying, right? So therefore, when you're tested with that promise, you have to understand that you're the best of mankind. You're the best of mankind. You don't need to fall short to that pole. So when that is ever approached to either one of you all at this table or in this room, you made a decision just now, right? You made a choice just now, right? And I expect you to hold on to it, right? You guys, life has been really, 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 really real to me. I am so honored that Brother Stacy and his team called me and asked me to spend some time with you guys. I took out of my old lady time to come and spend with you all young people. And I want you all to remember everything that was said to you all by people that really care about and have invested their career in this space right here. Before I leave, because I see it's a lot of talking over here, I want to know, do you all have any questions for me? You don't have any questions? What about you, Princess? Yeah! No questions? What about you, Princess? I got your word that you're going to take the high end out and not the low end, right, Princess? Okay, you're going to stay in school and do what you need to do to know where you need to be, right? Do I have you all's word on that? I expect, when I come back in this space, I pray the best for each and every one of you all, and I expect God's will that I can look into you all's eyes, into you all's soul again. Until we meet again, you guys, stay safe, stay mindful, and remember you have choices. Thank you very much.
On your table, you have a piece of paper and a pen for question and answer. So at the end of the event, for the last speaker, you can ask questions. Minister Rico Johnson became head of the conservative vice lord, one of the largest street gangs in the United States. Minister Rico has now written a book titled From Disgrace to Dignity, Redemption of the Life of William Rico Johnson. It highlights his life and considers how redemption has affected his life. In addition, Minister Rico is identified as a godfather, much like the Godfather's founded organization, Crime Family. Rico sees himself as providing a positive force to vice lord gang members. On one hand, what this involves is taking care of their needs, such as feeding 150 families a day. And on the other hand, providing guidance and direction for members' lives. Can we welcome Minister Rico?
My name is Minister Rico, William Johnson,
I was asked to come out here to speak of Brother Stacy and y'all working team out here. I have a message for the young people, and I just want to convey something to the parents. Don't give up on them. Don't give up on them. I spent 42 years of my life in prison, thinking I was slick, thinking I was clever, thinking I was somebody's leader, and I didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. And after those 40-some years in the prison cell, I learned Benny, Stacy, Kiki, all of them young men came in prison while I was there. And my message to them were, please, stay in school. Don't end up next door to me, but they never listened in. So I thought, today I'm working in violent prevention because a man took a chance with me when I come home. He thought I was coming back here and reckoned me to be back in prison in 6 months. That was 11 years ago. Every day of my life, I've been working, trying to make sure that each and every last one of you young brothers that I meet, especially some of y'all that I already know, that you gotta be better than Rico. You can't settle for being Rico Johnson. Be better. And the only way you can do that is take these experiences that I done had and apply them to your life today so that you don't have to go wild with. Listen to you, mother. Listen to these programs because they work, man. They work. When you get in that cell, it's over with. It's over with. I went to every prison in the state of Illinois 3 times, man, what they call a circuit. And to 5 prisons outside the state of Illinois, what they call an interstate compact. And you know why I went there? Because I believed in vice law. So blind, till I thought I would represent everything that stood under the name of vice law. And they had to create prison for people like me. Larry Hoover was next door to me, Jeff Ford, Gino Corleone. They still never down there. My job now is to make sure we help get them out of there. And to keep you I don't want to single nobody out, but please, young man and young women, especially, it's funny right now, man. But when they slam that door on you, it's all over with, dog. It's all over with. I thought I was bad when I went in there. Man, they got to, but guess what? Larry Hoover was my son. He didn't know after me. Me and Larry Hoover was his best friends today. Me and Gino Corleone is best friends today. I'm helping right now raise Jeff Ford up. She think I'm her daddy now. And that's for her anytime she calls. But I don't want to go back next door to Jeff. I don't want to go next door to Larry. I don't want to see Gino Corleone under those circumstances. I want to stay right here with you. And I want you to stay here with me. Please, man, don't waste your time thinking you got to do what you're doing to each other. They got an event going on out here. I think it's the 5th of next month. And I promise you, I'm coming to that picnic. I'm coming to that picnic. And I'm going to bring y'all some people like this for y'all to see a man and learn from him. And do the best you can, man, with the tools that you got to work with. And for these people to take their time and open up these centers for y'all, somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. I want to congratulate the brothers that helped me these 11 years I've been home. Mr. Tito Hartman, Together Chicago, gave me a job and let me work. Sister Africa over there, they did some things for me.
month, making sure that I was here. And I couldn't let him down for nothing in the world, because he one of the brothers I didn't think was going to come out here and do nothing. And look at him today. Look at him today. If you had asked me about Kiki a year ago, I would have never thought Kiki was going to do the right thing. And when I seen him, he had a job. Stacy called me on the telephone, said, man, I need you to go to Stateville with me. I said, they gonna let me back in the penitentiary? He said, come on. We went back to the penitentiary and I delivered the message. And then that's when we started having Brother Bentley to go inside the prison and made everything happen for the better. And I'm so proud of him, man, because I was one of the guys he talked about when you come inside that prison. It was the law. It was the rule. And you live by that rule. It wasn't none of that I, you, and the big me and the little you. It was all about unity, all about understanding, all about loving my brother. And I know you can do it out here. It hurts me to see you young people, man, going at each other the way you do. Everything I loved and had, I lost in prison. I left the streets in 1970. I had 7 sisters and 1 brother. I come back in 2012. I don't have nothing. No sisters, no brothers, no nothing. Everything I loved, they took. Except for that love that I had for Christ. And that's what kept me alive, you young people out here. Believing in me that never seen me in their own life. And if you believe that much in what I'm telling you and what I've shared with you, believe this. Straighten your act up, man. Straighten your act up. And to be a better reflection of me, don't let me have to come to the courtroom to get you out. Stand with me on the outside of it. And Stacey, I want to thank you for allowing me to come down here. Ma'am, I'm going to call your name, but I want to thank you. And it's an honor to be instructed to you young people. But the only friend you got, man, is your mama. Your dad. And read some of my cards so that you'll know that if you need a friend, man, you need somebody to talk to, I always got time. I always got time. And if you can't get in touch with me, call Stacy, call KK. They know me 24/7. And Stacy wakes me up out of my sleep at night. I go to bed at 9 o'clock every night. And he called my house 11 o'clock. You ready? What am I be ready for? I'm just getting in the bed. But that was the message I wanted to leave. And for the parents, please again, don't give up on these little guys. They need you more than they need anything. Well, they might act like they don't. Believe me, they do. And we ain't got that much time, so I'm going to try to end this. I just appreciate y'all allowing me to come, man, and be in your house. And if you ever need me for anything, as long as it ain't going back to jail, you can call me. You can call me. But I ain't going to do nothing with you if it's going that way. And I ain't going to pull no punches with you. I ain't going to get behind your back and tell you. I ain't scared. But I love my freedom, man. I love my freedom. All right? I hope that somewhere along the line, somebody got that message. And it's a group of you brothers that I recognize from your tie over there. It's mandatory that you understand me. There ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about that. You got to be the best that you can be. And when you speak about eliteship, you know what that really means? The best of my kind. Be the best man out can be. And you ain't got no odds, brother. All y'all brothers. I don't care if it's GD, Mexican mafia, we all one family, man. And y'all can make it work. I got the best friends in the world. And they name one of them bicycle. Name one of them. And this young man been knowing me all his life. He ain't no bicycle. That one there been knowing me all his life. He ain't no bicycle. And I raised them, man. I'm serious. When they met me, they was 16, 19 years old. I was just as hard on them as I would be on you. And look how they turned out. They teaching me now. And I love it. So I'm going to leave y'all with that, brother. Right. And I'm going to leave y'all with the word of the God. Parents is the best teacher. But advice is better than a sacrifice. Take that with you. I love you all. Peace.
Turning points or events that made you stray away from your life of violence.
I can remember the last time I was in state maximum penitentiary. A lot of young guys playing down at 18, 19 years old. And these were the sons of girls I was in primary school. And when they were called home, they would tell their mamas they met me. And when they would call their mothers would ask them to call me to the phone. And their mamas would ask me to look out for their babies. And their grandmamas would get on the phone and then we look out for my grandbaby. And that gave me a sense of responsibility to my community. That my community was reaching out to me to take care of these babies so they won't go down the same path that we've been down. And that was my turning point back in 1982 in State University.
What steps you think are necessary for the people who want to change their lives?
I think some of the first steps is try to stay involved in the real decent program. I always remind people just reach out to a mentor in your life. Somebody you can call 24 hours a day in case you think in a certain way. I mean, seriously, somebody you can talk to. Billy talks about this all the time. If you have to look behind your dinner table for a role model, you may have some issues at one time or another. So as long as you have a strong mother family, mother, father, some uncles, or have a mentor in the community that you really trust, that you can talk to about anything. Because you don't have to just learn, we call that baptism by fire. You want to learn just like I said, you want to hit the head, knock the head of this wall. It's important to listen to people sometimes, right? It's not the swear, you know, think about it. Some people might think it's swear, but it's not. It's okay. Because you don't want to make the mistakes that the minister just talked about, the mistakes that some people make out here. I still struggle a little bit. That's the reason why I didn't answer your first question. I'm cool, and I'm not about no harm to anybody, but sometimes I even struggle when people try to, like, for example, somebody disrespect me even today, verbally. I get caught up in that sometimes. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm just being transparent with everybody. So I'm learning how to just let some things go myself, even though I'm much older than you are. But the thing is, I have mentors. I still have mentors in my life. I have people I can call before I even make any type of bad thought or whatever the case may be. But it's important to stop the thought before it comes out your mouth. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Anybody else?
Yes. Not pay too much attention to what other people think. You know, don't think about your brother. Don't think about what he might think about you for wanting to do the right thing. If you do the right thing for the right reasons, guess what you get at the end of it? The right result.
All right.
Be a man, or be a young man, Don't worry about what Rico think about you for not doing what Rico's doing. And just stay focused. Stay focused.
So like, at what point did you like realize like the popularity you had, even though it might have been like cool and good in other people's eyes, at what point did you realize like it wasn't the right popularity and you wanted to like change your life?
That's a good question. But the popularity don't outweigh the injustice. I would rather see you be a square than to be a rectangle. You got to be better than anybody that's thinking about what you should be like. You got to be who you are. And we ain't killers, man. We wasn't born or raised to be killers. We most of the time hardest people you can find. We just have been misused so much, abused so much. So let's get away from that. Just like right now, you don't know me from Adam, but you sit here and we ate together today. You see what I'm saying? Now what makes you think you got to be mad at me, Mom? You won't box me. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to fight me. Because I don't want to fight you. I want love, man. I want to make you shine. I want to polish you up. Whatever your shortcomings is, let's get together and work on it. All right? You and I.
Think about popularity, what comes to my mind is they did a documentary on gangland about bicycle. And they highlighted me on there. The gang leaders, on death row. But you know, for them to do that documentary, they interviewed me for an hour and a half and asked how did I become a professor at a university? How did I become a father and all those things? But they didn't mention none of that in the documentary. But they wanted to glorify the gang part and give you young brothers something to glorify part of my gang life, but never show you how I got out of it. I just wanted to say that you can't just go by what the public put out there by the person. Sometimes it ain't all true.
All right.
Popularity is not paying your bills in a positive way. What good is it in a gang of world moving your soul? You know what I mean? So being honest with you, right? There's a lot of popular people out there, they struggle. I have to go back to business, you know, all these people, he always says about these arguments. He talks about the duck paddling on water. When you see the duck paddling, you're looking like everything's smooth, right? Underneath that, he's struggling a lot just to stay afloat. So you know, a lot of people that are popular are struggling. There's no sense of being popular. You cannot pay your bills, you cannot help your family in a positive way. So seriously, because all this stuff runs in sports. It runs in sports. A young guy, 18, 19, 20, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Why jack your whole life out trying to be popular? You're not going to be popular down in that jail cell. Listen to the minister. He talks about it. You're not going to be popular down there. You might have a bug might call or something. Other than that, all this stuff just dies out, okay? It's not worth it. Right? But you look like you're kind of popular.
My last question was, why is it so important to be a leader and not a follower?
Well, let's go ahead and say, somebody want to get this up a minute.
In order to be a leader, you got to be a follower. If I saw a creator, I never aspired to be him, but I wanted to be the best soldier he ever gave.
All right.
Ever. And he's been dead 30-some years, and I still advocate his name today. I still advocate his name. So in order to lead me anywhere, you got to first follow. So if you take steps behind your father or your mother, whoever the head of that household, I bet you don't be going down that dark road. That's power.
It's an African proverb that kind of address what you're asking. An army of lions led by sheep cannot defeat an army of sheep led by a lion.
All right.
Figure that out.
Say it one more time. One more time.
An army of lions led by a sheep cannot defeat an army of sheep led by a lion.
All right.
And the way that look today, a lot of these little brothers out in the hood, these are lions. But they've been led by some sheep.
All right.
That's why they dying early, going to prison, getting strung out on drugs, because they let sheep. The guy they ain't going to do what he asking them to do. He's a sheep, really.
What's one thing that you could do over in your youth really good?
All of them. All of them. That's right. All of everything. You know, let me see that. Wait a minute. I see that. Need your voice.
You know, for me, there's no regrets. You know, for me, everything is willed by God. Things that I self-willed are the things that was a blessing and a mercy for me. There's nothing that I would be, you know, one thing for sure and another for certain. If I would have changed the way that I lived my life back then, I wouldn't have been able to be in this space today. I wouldn't have been able to see you all. I wouldn't have been able to talk and kick it to my young kings over there, my young queens over there. So, you know, can I say that has it been rough? Has it been a hard time on me self-willing some shit on a long way out? Yes. Do I have any regrets about it? Absolutely not.
I don't even think about the past too much anymore. You can talk just a little bit about the past, though. Because you cannot go back and swamp. You pull nothing out of it. You have to learn from it. You cannot, I don't have no regrets. See, yeah, of course I was trying to do a few things different, but I let it go. I had to let it go. Other than that, you'll get stuck. This is a true story. I know a friend of mine named Jerome. His girlfriend, his woman, Evanston, she broke his heart, right? He was on a pay, back then they had pay phones, right? They had pay phones. He was on the corner pay phone talking to his girl every day after she broke his heart. He thought he was talking to his girl, he was talking to the operator. Real talking, he went crazy. He went crazy. He wished he could turn back the hands of time and make it right. Only I can tell you as a young man, try to stay strong, have some backbone, and at the same time, you want to be an engineer, right? You're going to be an engineer. Give him a hand, you're going to be an engineer.
My question is, what's the difference between your time and the present time?
I'll tell you, somebody's going to get that.
What's the difference between today's time and past time?
Yeah.
But when it comes to street violence, back in my time, in the 60s and the 70s, you had more communities. You know, black people in the 60s was part of a movement called the Black Power movement. And even Vice Lords and Disciples and Stones, those three major organizations, street organizations, formed what you call LSD, Lords, Stones, and Disciples. They came together and shut down all the construction in the city of Chicago, but they was not hiring black contractors. And that was a spirit then. And if I had a beef with Tio, I couldn't put it on Facebook because Facebook didn't exist then. Cell phones didn't even exist then. We didn't have a social media. So if I had an issue with him and Rico heard about it, Rico might say, that's my man, and holler, and a lot of times we go face to face. We can resolve. But today, young brother got an issue with a brother, he put it on social media, because they what you call Facebook gangsters. Right? Now he done put it out there, the world done seen it, now he gotta bag it up. So when they do see each other, he ready to do something he really don't want to do, but he's forced to do because of how he might look. So that's one of the main differences. today than it was for us. We didn't have Facebook, internet. TV went off at 10 o'clock, as a matter of fact. Yeah, we listened to AM. FM was for the news and the weather and the sports. A lot different, right? So yeah, social media caused a lot of wars, a lot of breakups. So people say stuff out there because they somewhere, a place where they ain't confronted, but when they come face to face with that person, there's a whole lot of people connected to that, and that's what keeps a lot of these societies first. That makes sense. That's wonderful.
One thing that I can say that has changed drastically is the affiliation that my little sisters have to the streets. You know, the more fuel that they have to pick up a pole and use it against another sister or another brother. So to see, you know, don't get me wrong, there was female engagement in, you know, the gang street life, but not as profound as it is. And it is also due to technology and social media, as well as television, you know, fake television appearing to be real. So those are the two things that I can agree with Mr. Bennett about, is the technology as well as the way that our young sisters are being cultivated into the young families.
Good. Okay. Thank you for your question.
Can I ask one?
Yeah.
What advice do you have for the youngsters today to overcome some of the obstacles that they have to deal, like the social media and the peer pressure and the friends cheering them on and trying to save face when somebody disrespects them? And for all of y'all, when she mentioned pole, that's a gun. Just so you know, we know what she's talking about, okay? So we need to know your conflict resolution. We need to know conflict resolution for these people that got to come in and stack these social media pressures, this disrespect, because now they define disrespect different than we do, but it's serious for them. So how do you tell them, and like Brother Benny said, you got to come man to man, face to face with your problem. How do you tell them how to do that? What tools can you give them today that when they leave here, and they got a problem with somebody, what's the best way to resolve that? Scream them out on Facebook or so-and-so.
One thing I would probably young people, just listen. Like I say, once again, to your mentors, you have one, listen to your mother and father. Seriously, just listen, because your mother and father, they know what's best. And always reach out to somebody. That's the best advice I can give anybody. Because social media, like your brother talked about popularity, a lot of people look into how many views they're going to get. And then the music is taking a turn for the worse, in my opinion. Because what it is, how do you get 1 million views talking about killing somebody? It doesn't make no sense, seriously. I believe that African American leaders really need to challenge the music industry when it comes down to all this violent music. That doesn't mean that I'm out of touch with today's world. It's just, when I was growing up, like the sister said, we had love music, right? We had some nice dance music. You listen to some of this music nowadays, it starts out pretty cool, then they talking about killing somebody. How's that really music? Seriously. Young people should challenge that type of mindset, because the young rappers have a responsibility to tell, you know, to kind of uplift brothers and sisters. See, we got caught in that individuality type of mindset. I got to get mine. If you ever hear somebody say, I got to feed my family, and I know we got to feed our family, don't get me wrong, that means they'll cut you out to feed their family. Seriously, you know, there's no saying keep the enemies close to you, but I've changed that mindset. I keep my enemies way away from me. Because if I keep you too close to me, I might forget they're my enemy. They can kind of set me up or something, right? So I keep my enemies way, way far away from me. That's what I do. You don't have to take everything I'm saying, you know, just sit on the shelf sometimes. You can use it later. But quickly, just a few more details, the young lady back there. It's all about listening, man. Because you don't want to make a mistake you never get out of. It's not a testimony that's in there about that. I just want to make that quick, okay? Anybody else? Y'all good? Everybody's good?
You know, it's a saying, there ain't no rules in the crowd that don't play fair. And there ain't no win in the game with no rules. Martin Luther King, one of his principles in nonviolence is, can you accept suffering without retaliation for the sake of the just cause? And what they mean is, if you in school in the hallway and somebody disrespects you, that's a form of suffering. But what's your just cause? If your just cause is not to get suspended, complete school, then you wouldn't let that bother you, you would walk away because you got a just cause. So you gotta have a just cause in your life, right? I might get disrespected by a little brother on the streets or whatever, but I got a just cause. One of my just causes is my 10-year-old grandson that I want to live long enough to see cross the stage with him. One of my just causes be the message I bring, so when I'm talking to young brothers, they can respect what I'm saying, because I'm doing what I say. So you gotta have a just cause in your life. Without a just cause, you don't do anything.
Sorry, this is my dad right here.
Yo, wow.
Yeah, it's my father. I'm Station Junior, so I'm not really asking a question. I just want to tell him that I'm proud I am. I'm 39 and I feel like I'm 9 years old. I get it. Every day. All right. I'm so proud. And a lot of the times, you don't get it out. And I just want to give them this flowers.
Okay,
I've done a lot in my life, but to have these years with you has been the best of my life. And a lot of the times people don't get to say that to their parents, but I get to say that to you. So I love you, I'm proud of you, and I want you to continue helping me out. And these guys that are talking about your parents and all that, I see a lot of my players. I'm not afraid to cry in front of you. Having you in my life right now has been the best. All the accolades that I had, playing basketball and all that, this is the best time of my life. So I just want to tell you I'm proud.
Amen.
How did you move on from your past game life?
Moving past my game life, I just shift how I function within it. Because there's something about being vice lord that I'm proud of. You know, brothers recognize me as a national ambassador for the vice lord nation. And in doing that, I go to different states, and my message is different now. It ain't about how we get a connect on drugs, how we can get guns and all those things. My message is different. I tell brothers in Minnesota, Mississippi, and Memphis, Cleveland, you know, you gotta build a different relationship with the community. You don't want to be the enemy of the community. Join what the community is doing to better the community. And since you got a lot of manpower, the community becomes dependent on your manpower. Then when you can start a mentoring program and you little brothers listen to you all, then you have the community on your side. You got to give the community a new profile of who you are. So this is how I use it, right? I don't detach myself from it, but I use it. Trust me, I get ridiculed and laughed at and talked about behind my back by a lot of them, but they still stuck. But I just learned from Rabbi Ben Ami, the head of the Hebrew Israelites. He said, when you got a vision, you move forward with it. Some people gonna be with you until they get who in office they want in office, and you ain't gonna see them no more. Some people gonna end up with a wife or a husband, you ain't gonna see them no more. But stick to your vision. Because people gonna go and come. So that's how I got away from that gang life, and now being an asset to the community and using my influence to better those that's still in it and hope that they can make a change and hope that the community comes back.
Really what Uncle Benny said. Now, seriously, spiritually, that was a vehicle for me to move past what I felt from my family's stigma of the gang life. Having my first child and still attached to that type of lifestyle, and I had a moment to really assess myself and pull myself up. Do I really want my son to go into a penitentiary to visit me, watch me come into the visitation room, shackled from the ankles to the waist to my wrist? Did I really want that for my son like I have it still today, 3 decades later, visiting my father? So that was one of the things that was a real huge piece in my life about taking, the record that Michael Jackson, looking at the man in the mirror. I had to really look at the woman in the mirror to see what my legacy is going to be about with my children moving forward, what my life is going to be about. So taking an evaluation and understanding who and whose I am is really the reason why I am in this position today.
So also, I think that you'll find out that it can become a career. Prison, crime, it can become the only thing you know. That's the only thing you do. And at the end of it, my old man always used to tell me, sometimes you got to pay what you owe. Sometimes you got to pay what you owe. If you do dirt, you get dirt. And I watched my predecessors change. Mr. Rico, Benny Lee, Chris, stand up, Chris Jordan. These individuals that I seen back there, when I got out, I remember going into a facility and calling Chris by his penitentiary name. Hey, Benny. He said, no, man. He said, that ain't who I am no more. He said, my name Mr. Right? And Mr. speaks volumes. When somebody says Mr., that means they respect you. And boy, I didn't ever think nobody was going to respect me because I was hooked on that new name that they gave me because I had Stacy so much. Right? And I always wanted to be part of something, so I did the things that they taught me how to do, to be part of it. But what I found out is when it breaks, I don't know what to do. When it ain't no more in, and I keep following, I don't know what to do. I need to make some adjustments in my life. And it's only by making decisions. One ignorant mistake can cost you the rest of your life. Whether it be in a gang, carrying a pole, thinking that you're invincible, all of that. The stigma, the image, the pride, all of that keep us, the ego, all of that keep us in bondage. So leaving the gang wasn't that hard when I seen some other people before me that was entrenched, like I thought I was, change their life. So that's another answer to that. So next question is, will this leadership return? Will you guys come back? That was the question.
I'm not going to speak that. I'm just going to say this quickly. The question was for leadership return. That's what you're talking about, minister. I'm just going to speak about me. I have this fictitious character in the back of my head named Captain Black. I do. It sounds crazy. He's the leader of the Black Nation. Right? That's my mindset. So I really hope that leadership, strong leadership, could come back. I do, and I'm serious. When I was a teenager, I wasn't with the movement like that. I just called myself Black Gold. Not knowing what it really represented on that website, I did. I called myself Black Gold, and I got a lot of respect for that. I did. I was wondering why. Because, I was in that neighborhood. But the point I'm making is this here. I hope the leadership could come back. But I would have to defer to Brother Minister on that one because it's tricky right now. A lot of guys want to step up, but you got a lot of variables to it. If you step all the way up, people still watching people, in other words. You got to be very careful. That's one thing I can say, all right?
Yeah, for the brothers and sisters that I know or have access to, I have a brother that heads up a drug program. He's one of the directors of this drug program, and I'm almost sure whatever request I asked of him, he acknowledges. I got a brother that's a social worker out in the networking in the community. He's with me 24/7. He's definitely coming. And for me personally, I'm coming whenever you call. And Mr. Holland will be right there with me. So whenever you call, just let us know and Stacy will post us up and we'll be running. And the person I was talking about was Mr. Jordan, that Stacy just got to talking about. He runs the drug program. I would appreciate it if you give me a minute so I can introduce him. Yes, sir. Chris, can you come up here for a minute and let the brothers know you'll be there to support us?
I want to get up here because you better just sit before you meet some of the hard working guys in the community. And I just got in out the door, but I know they already covered everything that needs to be covered. I don't want to be redundant. Yes, sir. I wish you could got some peace out some labor. It's an honor to be up here. I was sitting back there in the back and just showing how God works. Because I really don't want to get up into a whole lot of things. I just want to show you how God works, right? The power of God, right? This brother here, we met in the penitentiary, right? He was the GD, I was vice lord. I had some influence for my guys, he had some influence for his guys. We was in that eye. We pushing over 4 wheels on that eye, right?
What that mean?
We develop a connection with each other. But I'm gonna show you how God works. When I come home, right? Because he used to call it Big Rat, right? Bug White. You know what I'm saying? That shit been the name, Bug White, right? They want to listen to nobody or nothing. But when you come home, I was working I've been working at Cyber Evanston now for 16 years. I've been in the field for 25 years. I come home in 1998. Well, I was facing life in the penitentiary. And this brother here, Mr. Rico, who had taught me a lot about being a man. Not just being a vice lord, but being a man. And I still use some of them keys that he gave me today, and they still work. But when this brother first come through the program, right, I had been hearing about this guy that's coming in. He got the remote control. I didn't know it was Stacy, right? He wouldn't get nobody remote control because he still got that old gangster mentality, right? He wanted to see where the tough guy is at, right? So when I see him, he come up to me and say, hey, bro, hey, what happened? Hey, still, I said, no, sir. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that up here. And man, from that point on, we've been joining that hit. He'll come out there and talk to the people till the end time I call and I ask him, I say, I need you. You know what I'm saying? We come out there. And I usually call him when he still got that grittiness about him, right? That's why he's so good with the youth, right? Even though his mind done changed, right? He still got that rawness about him, right? That sometimes they need. You know what I'm saying? When I look at Stacy, see, I see that spiritual in her. Sometimes that's what the young brothers need. See, when you look at me, you see the spiritual in me now, right? But I be telling Stacy all the time about that balance, right? That's the key right now, right? So,
Everything these brothers have told you guys, man, is the natural born truth. And what the old man was saying about me wanting to help. See, all I want to do today is love and help. That's it. And I'm gonna tell you something, even with that, right? You know what I'm saying? I've never heard my name, my character. My character has never been, I had never had to defend my character, right? Until I started really stepping out, man, trying to help. The spirit campaign, the death threats and everything else. You know why? Because they don't want us to help these little brothers for real. See what I'm saying? So this takes some real soldier stuff, man. This ain't for the faint heart. What they do on a daily basis, it's not for the faint heart. See, anybody can talk a good game, sit up in the churches, you know what I'm saying, talk a real good game. But you know the hardest thing for me to go out to do is sit here and knowing that somebody that put a threat on my life, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna maintain, I'm gonna love this brother, and let God protect me from that and try to deal with him, you know what I'm saying, on the best way I know how, and that's to try to love. It takes a lot of strength to do that. See, because it's easy to just go do what you need to do, right? But a real man of faith will sit back and say, hey, you know what? I got to love him to the end until you can't love him no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honor to be here. I want to listen for when he told me what the panel was. I said, no, I got to be there. I got to support them. Like I said, this brother here, the old man T.O., I ain't got a lot from all these guys. Benny, you know what I'm saying? But Rico, he raised me. He raised me, you know. So like you said, I'm running the drug center, 57 Woods. You know, we got media and sisters and getting your life together, not just getting stopping drugs. That's just a formality. What we do, man, is we, you know, listen to pro. See, we work on your integrity. See, integrity, you guys know what integrity is? It's important for a man to have integrity. See, integrity is when everything lines up together. What you say, what you do, you know what I'm saying, what you think, everything lines up together. But integrity comes from the Latin term, integrity means whole and complete. We work on the whole man. We work on the complete man. You know what I'm saying, so we can become better man. So with that said, I'm going to greet you guys again. I leave you in peace with universal blessing. See you later. Well, let's do my thing. So we have adjourned this evening. I want to thank the panel, my brothers, you know, some of them I lived with for a long time. Bro, you know, I don't even know how to describe it. You know, I just thank the Creator.